Hello. How's it going, folks? Hey, stream is starting up a little bit earlier than normal today. I was just like pretty eager to get on and get playing, and I didn't want to do too much off stream, so I figured I had a little bit of extra time today, being a holiday and all, so I may as well just get rolling with it. And with that said, let's also cut the intro a little bit short too. What's going on, folks? Hey, so we are in Crushbone. We ran here last time, and we're planning to camp the Orc Taskmaster. That's why we're here. It's a rare mob in Crushbone that is on a really good loot list for Mischief, so we could get all kinds of random goodies from him. Morning, Miko. Snorlax, what's up? Zilkaril, Frank, good to see you too. I am level 12. This is the last day of the EXP bonus, I think. And I should be 13 here soon. This slaver is kind of working me, man. He's blue. He's only level 11, but he's doing some damage. I need to resolve this healing spell. There we go. Now I should be safe. He's going to run soon. I don't really have any way to stop him from running. At best, I can hope he goes left down the wall. Get that yelp in and then roll in here. If he goes to the Legionnaire, I'm kind of screwed. It's not looking good. I hit that lull real quick. Got him. This is about the best I could do. I hope for the kill here. Come on, just one more hit. Beautiful. This is why it was tough, man. The stupid crude Defiant Mace garbage. Look at that ratio. Never. Slaver Key and Cloth Cape. We do have a Taskmaster up. He has something in his offhand there. Looks like it's going to be a garbage loot table based on that. I think that's some trash from Befallen, maybe? Not promising. But it's always exciting when you kill a named on Mischief. Fanor, I'm doing pretty good. Jeebus, thank you. It was definitely the play. Chinchilla, good to see you. Pope, what up? Yeah, I've heard BG3 is good. My friend is playing BG3 and he's like freaking 150 hours into it. I'm trying to get him to play Armored Core and he's like, I can't till I beat this. I'm like, you've been playing it like nonstop for weeks. How have you not beaten it yet? Oh, I'm glad you liked the new Drama Quest episode. You binged? Oh my gosh. How many episodes does A Loving Robot have? Whoa, 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 whoa. Annie, I'm number 1. Thanks for the resub, dude. So I remember there being something weird with these two right here. Like, I think if I tag him, he comes at a hard angle, comes all the way across, touches the Taskmaster area, and then comes at me straight. So I'm gonna have to lull the Taskmaster, I think. This guy is only level 8. The other one I killed was 11, so he should be significantly easier. Also, he doesn't have a stupid Defiant Mace in his hand. This Legionnaire needs to fuck out of here. Alright, we're gonna shoot the lull. We're gonna grab my mans here. And we're gonna take him back here. Turn auto attack off so we have the swing back up when my guy gets here. Didn't mean to get all the way over here. Don't want him to do any weird pathing shit, so hopefully this will give us some space. You're 130 hours in, Frank. Wiggity woo, what's up, what's up? Hey, Kettle, thanks, man. Labor Day's important. Support your workers. Oppose those rich fucks. Is that what it is? So, how many hours are you in, Slazik? Seize the means of production. Not really, but maybe really. Demand better pay. Back him up a little bit more. Beautiful. Perfectly timed. Y'all, he's toast. No chance. I forgot these elven slaves will actually like try to heal these guys sometimes. How close am I to 13? I'm like 1 kill away from going toe-to-toe with this Taskmaster. But there's a level 7 Bard in here, and on Mischief, as an SSF character, he could be like level 1, and I'd have to worry about competing with him on this, you know what I mean? Because twinking is just so crazy. I have 12 seconds I can run by. Good fire animation there. Just a blank piece of parchment paper. Like that Legionnaire will probably like kick my ass, even though he's an even con. Eat the rich. Eat spaghetti. What's up, spaghetti? Fat Matt. Oh, okay. So Frank, you've done 130 hours. Are you doing multiple runs, or is that all on one character? Lol. Be cool if you resolve the lull. That'd be really good for everybody. Alavaz, what up, what up? Of course. That military life, baby. 96-hour special liberty. I didn't have to stand watch or anything. The first thing I did was like, so I was off Friday and Saturday, which were like Trolley's days, because she's been with the baby a lot. I'm missing out on the kiddo a lot because I've been working like crazy hours. So those 2 days was just like 24/7 daddy time. Then yesterday I got like a day off, and then today was just like, you know, normal day. Blue. About back here. Just a lot of bullshit here that I have to lull. Your lull spell fizzles. Your lull spell fizzles. I heard they had a patch recently that made duo, like co-op on the game, significantly better. Hey baby, 24/7 daddy time. Come on, get. The Orc Trainer is kind of a chump usually, but the Legionnaires, even if they're the same level, just seem to hit higher. I really like this shield graphic here. Have you guys seen that paw? There's a shield that you can get from paw that has like a pretty rare appearance. It's like a stone sort of looking shield with like an engraving on it. Yeah, Frank. Before, like if you started a co-op campaign and you like didn't come back for like day 2 or whatever, you know what I mean? They just want to keep playing in their world. It was like that character had to be like in the party or something. And this is me describing what was described to me as a person who has not played BG3. You know what I mean? So I'm probably saying it wrong or whatever, but yeah, that's what I understood. Oh yeah, Chit and Shell shield looks really good. I wish there was like a magical version of the Kanos Kite Shield in Classic so that it would be good, because for Fashion Quest it's hard to beat the Kanos Kite Shield. Looks so good. Well, that's good. I'm excited for them to patch Armored Core 6 to see if they nerf the double shotgun build. I'm deciding whether or not I want to play Starfield with my limited free time once I beat Armored Core for the 3rd run and get all the endings. Once you beat it once, you can just pretty much blitz through it because the difficulty doesn't scale or anything, right? Because you don't level up, but you just have like a really good build that you like and you're competent, you remember all the boss fights and just crush them. I feel like when they start running, my character just stops hitting them entirely for a while. Like he just takes a break. So many misses. Yeah, for some reason, I mean, like everyone has been raving about how great BG3 is, but for some reason it just hasn't called to me, you know? On P99, hardcore, I don't know, a long time. But P99 is just kind of like fake EverQuest, right? So why would you do it? Womp womp. That guy's running around the block. And, oh loot, thank you. Why is the shiny brass shield so rare? Alright, let's hit another courage. Bam. Get a light healing. Double bam. Mem, our new spell. Oh, JK level 14. I don't know, it would take a long time. But it depends on what class you're playing. You're playing as Paladin? Yeah, it would just take a super long time because being a hardcore character, you'd have to really you'd have to be like super cautious the whole time and play super safe, which is not very optimal for EXP gains, right? I really hope that one of these orcs sense isn't blue. There we go. Cool. See, now we've got this slaver here. Respawned. He's gonna run directly into that Lego, like guaranteed. It might be better just to lull this guy, lull him, and pull him into the back here. All right, so let's think. What does the Taskmaster probably have? Orc Taskmaster here. He's level 13. Can be level 14. So Why? Why is this happening? You just little Greycon Orc Centurion walking over here. Now you're going to run at 50% and get me screwed too. Relull this guy. Okay, let's do this. Interrupting my meditate while I look at loot. Now this guy respawned. Everything's great. Thank you, Orc Centurion. Look at you running at 50. Going the wrong way, so you're actually going to start just a huge train. Love it. At least I'm back to being the only person in the zone. Emil Roy, hey, how'd you like it? And welcome to the stream. Pied, what up, dude? Good to see you, man. So, Pied, are you still planning to do Ogre Shaman? Are you trioing? Is that what your plan is, to trio launch? Are you going to solo, duo? Yeah, the pixel thing on full screen is kind of crazy, right? And do you notice your mouse gets like sucked into the rim, like the borders of the screen too? I might just lose aggro here. Ogre Shaman for Quorum and duoing with Shadow Knight. Okay. Is that going to be Arachnos or someone else? I did lose aggro. That's funny. The pathing is so bad, they just give up. Nice. Yeah, Malil, I'm interested in what you thought of that Drama Quest episode, so let me know. Did you listen to the one with Quarkin first? Emperor Crush. Oh. That's really interesting. Even though I was totally out of combat, they returned to aggro when I got within range. Cool flag. Oh, is there like a... Yeah, you never noticed the big giant flag at the front of the castle? That's great, Pod. You guys are gonna kill it. Especially with the hybrid penalties being gone. Sorry about that, I had to sneeze. Thanks, Frank. Alright, now that aggro is truly reset, let's get back to this spot. I really don't want to deal with the other slavers, but I'm not confident that lull is enough to pull him past them. And the smart move would just be like cautious and clear him out. Slaver. I don't think I need to lull this Lego to avoid aggro on the wall, but I'm gonna do it. So stupid. There's no one in Crushbone, no. How are Pallies at launch? I think on those old servers, Pallies are generally better than Shadow Knights forever. Shadow Knights like have a harder time holding aggro. Stun, cease and desist will be huge aggro tools for Paladins, but you won't have cease and desist, so it'll just be stun and your blind spell. If I can, I'd like to get them to actually come out here. Oh no, sorry about that. No, Mischief is still booming. I mean, like, attrition slowly eats away at these servers, no matter what you do, really. All right, there's our man right there. I don't remember pathing being this bad back in the day on that area. It, like, got worse over time. Okay, we got everyone except for the one we want. But yeah, I mean, you know, attrition slowly takes its toll, but it's doing quite well, I'd say. Especially relative to other servers in these eras. There's the TM. Faceless wasn't on Ragefire for very long at all. I think they were only there for like 1 or 2 expansions. I forget if Faceless won the first expansion that they did on Ragefire or if they immediately lost. God, you fucking suck. Just gonna have to do it the slow and steady way. But Faceless won every expansion up through DODH on a 6-month unlock schedule, and then they lost POR and then pretty much immediately folded. Now the guild was really hurt because there was a bunch of boxers, and basically there's dudes who pretty much lived, like literally afforded their food to continue living on Earth via RMT and locking people out of content and selling loot and everything. And the number of people who did that and who are very vocal and leadership kowtowed to those people, it kind of like spread in the guild. And so you ended up with like 2 or 3, what the fuck are you doing, Legionnaire? You ended up with 2 or 3 people who just did this. My bard friend is going to take care of this. And it just destroyed the guild, slowly rotted them from the inside because they didn't want to recruit people. They didn't want to work with other guilds. It chased and crushed all the other guilds off the server one by one. And then when you go over to Ragefire, where they had a more amicable thing going on for a while, everyone who was on Ragefire, a lot of them had, like, at that point left Lockjaw to go to Ragefire. They had a terrible opinion of Faceless, and they literally joined forces to beat them in POR. POR is one of those expansions where you're really vulnerable to alliances too, so it worked great. And Faceless got locked out. I mean, they didn't get totally locked out. They won some DPS races, but really what it was in Theater of Blood, right? It came down to the inspirations, and they just lost more than they won, and the other guild was able to get in and clear Death Knell first. And that was it. You know what I mean? Then the guild did a merger with some other guild that I don't even remember the name of. Where's the Taskmaster? Oh. Well, hello there. This is bad, actually. I need to lull this. Fizzled lull is gonna... Oh, okay, I'm good. This guy's doing a lot of damage, though. Wow. The two guys, I'm not going to say what their names were. It probably would be inappropriate. But yeah, they had like a really toxic environment form over there because of that kind of shit. And, you know, the guild was put into a lot of really tough spots with that. Like, even when I was there in Classic and Kunark, they had these two really big boxers who started killing targets that we didn't want to bat phone. This guy is pushing my shit in right now. What the hell? It's because he's dual wielding. But like, Talendor would spawn at like 3 a.m., right? And you're like, well, month 5 of Kunark, you don't want to wake up at 3 a.m. to kill Talendor. You already did 6 months of Nagafin, right? So you don't need that shit. And that's just kind of how it went. So we'd be like, oh, well, you know, so-and-so box is literally 50 characters. He can just solo Talendor. Or these two guys combined can easily solo Talendor, duo Talendor. And we let them do that a few times as a convenience thing, but when they kill them, they keep the loot. And then there's like a few no-lifers in the guild who are like, I want that loot, like I will wake up. And you're like, yeah, you'll wake up, but you're like one of 15 people, you know what I mean? And 15 people without boxes are not going to kill those guys. And the boxers know that all they have to do is not show up to those raids, and it forces your hand, right? If they keep showing up to the raids, like the big boxers show up to the raids when you bat phone it, then it's no big deal. But they know, they start to look around and they see like, hey, if we didn't show up to this Talendor, they couldn't kill it, and then it would just be ours to kill, right? People get hip to that shit, and they do it. And it puts the guild in a real tough spot. I think the story of the downfall of Lockjaw, Ragefire, Faceless is just a story of greed. Really. I'm not able to read chat too much right now because I'm trying to not die to this stupid Orc Taskmaster. Sorry, but I'll check again in a minute. And one of the people was an EverQuest developer, so like that didn't help. One of those big boxers. It'd be cool if you stopped stunning me. If you stopped bashing me with no shield, I'd be real happy about it, Orc Taskmaster. Dude, what the fuck? I might not be able to do this even with lay on hands. Yeah. Yeah. If you know those, yeah, if you were there, then you definitely know who those people would be. This is good right here. If you guys see this over here in the chat, where he just had like 6 consecutive rounds of missing. 7. Oh, there's a 26 damage slash. Okay, okay. Hey bro, how are you doing 26 damage with that whip in your hand? Because I'm pretty sure that's like a 628 or some shit. If I let my health remain relatively low, he might not flee. It could be the play that we don't like LOH until... Oh, Jesus, he's going to push us real low. Alright. It's where we have to start looking at the HP manually. Oh, he's running. That's bad. Yeah, there you go. Take a few more hits. Take a few more hits. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm going to have to deal with this slaver no matter what, I think. Come on. Alright, LOH is in. Not the second slaver, dude. Just die. Just die. Come on. Time to run. Alright, what'd we get? This is what my guy was hitting for 26 damage with. A 530 whip. Great. A large bone shield. Trash. Can't even use it. An iron leash collar. Actually an improvement. And the Illusionist Stone. 5 charges of Illusion Tree. Great. Rotting Orc Tooth. Leave that there. Take that. And the Bone Chips. I'll leave that. Woo. All right, there we go. We made it, boys. All right, so let me check this out. Sorry about that, chat. You have to poop really bad. Good to know, Zygor, by the way. Good to see you. Yeah, they locked a lot of shit down, Malil. Demris, good to see you, man. Yeah, that guy was trucking me, man. Now we need to be level 14 by his next spawn, so that shit does not happen again. Yeah, it was close. I was hoping that he wouldn't run because I was kind of low on HP too. I was ready to wait until I was at like under 30 HP to hit LOH. But then when I saw the slavers come, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to hit this no matter what. So I just popped it. Yeah, dog's breakfast. It was terrible. I mean, I'll be a tree, I guess, but it's like, what's the use, right? Yeah, I mean, it's my perspective. I'm sure people who were there long term would tell me I'm wrong. And the other big thing that killed Faceless Insanity slowly, insidiously, was not having competition. Like once Dima left and we had no more competition, the incentive to unite greedy entities, selfish entities for the greater good of the guild was gone forever. You know what I mean? Everyone can, I shouldn't say everyone, many people can look past their personal interests in the interest of being the best or the greater good. When you lose that competition, sometimes it is the same as tearing away the mortar that is in your brick wall, you know? I think that's it, Sickness. I think it's literally just to be a tree. Yeah, you guys had meth, right? Methadone? The cleric with one arm. It might affect faction, but you know, to be honest, as like a paladin, what faction am I hurting for? Hey, that's really good, Fanar. I wish I could do that. I have completely lost that part of me that tells me when I'm full. Like, no matter how much I eat, I do not feel full at all, not even in the slightest. And it's a big challenge now, lately, I find, because I want to just keep eating, you know what I mean? Food is delicious, and my desire to stop eating is usually based on feeling full. Lol. There's no way that guy died 4 minutes ago already, right? Yeah, he had something going on with his arm, I remember, and eventually like lost his arm, but still played really well. True, Demris. Yeah, I need to do that too. I mean, I live like a modern life. I don't get hungry unless I force it upon myself, right? I'm living a good life now. Lexi was awesome. Yeah, I loved Lexi. Was Nolan the monk that was really good friends with Lexi? I remember Nolan being good. But I mean, we also had issues with like Fiona and Crinodon and Fiona's husband. Oh wait, was Crinodon was her husband or not her? I forget like how deep the simping went there. But there was basically Fiona and a bunch of dudes who were simping for her. And she, you know, it's a story as old as time in EverQuest. That was drama. Frozen became one of the Sims, our DKP officer. I remember buying Frozen an air conditioner because he like lived in some place where it was like 110 degrees and he had no air conditioning, and he was like, I don't know how I'm gonna keep going on like this. So we bought him an air conditioner, like one of those wall mounted ones. And when like at first it did not improve my faction with Frozen, which was kind of weird. Like he still didn't like me very much. And then when Cello came around, he sided with Amtrak over Faceless, and I was like, yo, send me that air conditioner back, dog. Send me that shit back. If you want to compete with us, you can fucking sweat. Yeah. That name is like beneath me saying out loud, Malil. Not even worth mentioning. So to describe Darth, in the Faceless officer team at that time, Darth was kind of like, it's like if you were trying to run a business, but in the briefing room there was a monkey with a gun, and you had to design everything you did around no one getting shot by that monkey. I'm not kidding at all. Like the officer team, I once said when I was building it, I was like, I need to build the best officer team ever, because this guild is going to have the worst guild leader to ever lead a top guild. Luckily, Selenius took over in Valius right when Darth lost his shit for the 99th time over loot that he didn't need. And Selenius is a great guy. Super good, super low-key, no drama. Yeah, that is a big problem, Mark. If you ask someone to be an officer and they say that they don't want to have that responsibility, that means they'd probably be a good officer. If they come to you and tell you they want to be an officer, that means like you should fucking run. Yeah, Selenius was great. Top notch. I'd play with Selenius any day in any game. He's a real team player. Oh, why would this go right here? Oh yeah, I should probably like equip some of this loot I got. Wait a second. It went to being equipped immediately. Okay, cool. Okay, it's still an AC gain, so it pushed me below 75 agility. That's great. Which gives you an avoidance hit. But I still have a net gain of AC on it because I had no neck slot before. Every guild I've ever been in has like a somewhat dysfunctional officer core, though. Maybe it's just Faceless, or maybe it's all guilds. Maybe it's the nature of people who are attracted to those rules of additional responsibility, you know what I mean? But like, I feel like there's a lot of mental illness in the EverQuest community, and then within the officers of guild leadership in that community, it's like distilled even further. If you're running a hardcore guild, it's almost a guarantee that you have like multiple officers with personality disorders. All right, so that was our pH. It's actually good. We want that pH. Now let's see if we can do this Lego. Asmerilla, good to see you. How's it going? Lol. Yeah, it is. That's true, Chinchilla. Like, you'll take a person who, like, day one of their officer is, like, happy and energetic and motivated, almost normal, and then you talk to them a year later, if they're still there, they're, like, snorting Adderall, screaming at their kids. on the latest episode I had with Ravanta, so we have a new podcast episode that came out late last night / this morning, which was the Agnar episode. And one of the things we talked about was like there was an officer I didn't like. Like I almost kicked him when he was an app. And I mentioned that like I always try to promote officers who are the best fit for the need at that time, regardless of how I feel about them in any other capacity, right? So like if you're obviously going to be the best raid leader, but I hate your guts, my normal MO was always I would promote you, you know what I mean? I don't know that maybe that's the right call for longevity, because it makes you want to quit. When you deal with people, you deal with officers in your guild a lot when you're a guild leader or a fellow officer. And when you deal with people or surround yourself with people you don't like, it definitely shortens your tenure. I did a better job of not doing that on Mischief. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I was telling him that like it might be my fault because I can be a big asshole to the officers. Like it might be a me thing that all my officers go crazy. I get really, really obsessive about things. Like I'll have whole channels analyzing data that is basically of no value. Like I'll like monitor all the other guilds' DKP websites, and we'll have like a graph plotting their attrition rates and all that kind of shit. And other officers will just be like, why? You know what I mean? Or they take on my obsession. And I'll be like, oh yeah, new expansion coming out. I think we should do six weeks of test rating for that. And they're like, dude, this expansion is only 12 weeks long. How could we do 6 weeks of test? So it's probably a me thing. Get this lull. Oh. Dude's gonna like roll up right on the warlord room or something. Shut up, Legionnaire. Get out of here. I just need to kill this guy so I can run. Come on. He's running at 20%. I'm actually not gonna be able to kill him. Especially if he's about to take a hard right turn. Okay, cool. He's just gonna walk around while I get beat to death by this other Lego. Don't aggro the shit in that window. He just regenerated. I yelped, baby. Let's get this attack boost. Seal the deal here. Great. He's climbing trees. He aggroed Emperor Crush, dude. Look at this. Emperor Crush, death to all who oppose the Crushbone orcs because he climbed the fucking tree. Kegden, what's there to test, dude? I don't want to go that hard on Quorum that I have to like test for it, you know what I mean? I'm not going to be able to take enough time off of work to like race to the first 50 or anything. I know that, so I'm just going to go, I'm going to do what I can as effectively as I can and kind of be happy with wherever I land. Asmril, I was never in a raid guild with the drama and RP guilds. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I can imagine RP guilds, people like meowing at each other. Yeah, I do need a stun or a root. Gellid, what's up, dude? What is Quorum supposed to be? Project Quorum is a new server coming out. It's in starting in Classic, 9 months per expansion, no boxing. And it's just supposed to be like a P99 that goes up to Planes of Power, is the easiest way to think about it. There's a bunch of like little unique things and other things to consider, reasons to play. But to get it down to brass tacks, P99 that eventually reaches Planes of Power. Think about it that way. It uses an older client that is more classic than P99, which a lot of people like the sound of, and then they log in and they're like, oh wow, EverQuest sucked back in 1999. I cannot believe that dude climbed the tree and aggroed the guys in the window. That was crazy. Does it have visible dot damage? I actually think it doesn't. It's real old. Like, I'm pretty sure that as a necromancer, you do not see how much damage your dots are doing ever. Oh, if he's adding it, maybe. Secrets is doing a lot of work to like add a lot of quality of life features to it. Like, he added mouse scroll because the old client didn't have mouse scroll. You were like here, and then you had to like F9, you know what I mean? And you could like move things around with like page up, page down, but you couldn't do this. He made it so you could do this. People weren't happy because it was a little bit janky, like it would rumble the screen when you did it. We worked on it today, and now it's like buttery smooth. Maybe not buttery smooth, but it's pretty dang smooth now when you do it. So he's putting a lot of work into improving things. Gotta put my hit point buff on courage. Yeah, people really are like that. They're like, yeah, I want to play like the most classic thing ever. Then you put them on like the real classic style client. They're like, why can't I scroll out into third person or like hold left button and look around? And you're like, dude, think of your earliest memory playing EverQuest. I guarantee you were in first person. Yeah, there'll be corpse runs, double R. Yeah, and Dusko. It's funny, when I started playing CLPs in 2011, I was always first person just like this. And then when I went to play Rift during the Sony hack, when SOE was gone down for like 3 months, I got in the habit of playing third person. And from that time on, basically like 2012 till like 2 months ago, I always played in third person. Then I went to TAC P and played like a month and a half or 2 months on TAC P, stuck in first person with the Stone UI, and I'm actually back to enjoying this more. It does have the OG Stone UI. The Stone UI is awesome, Keg, isn't it? I mean, like, that's the reason I got into all this, was the Stone UI just took me right back. And they have a trilogy client, Kegden, where if you use the trilogy client when you have the Stone UI on, is that a Legionnaire? No, it's just a Treon. You actually have the little mirror image of yourself works. Mangled animal pelt. What was the scent? 9. This poor orc slaver over here is like, he's having a good day, man. He's very not aggressive today. He's just relaxing. Spinstone, loving it. Yeah, that full screen spellbook too. That'd be cool, Slazik. Yeah, Zilkarilla, if you have a trilogy client, you can log in. You should be able to log into TAC P with the trilogy client. There's some bugginess with that client still, but I'm pretty confident that client with some shenanigans works. It's not as easy out of the box as using the Mac client where you just like click it and boom, you're in there, no problem. But yeah, and you get all the benefits. Like when you walk by bums, it plays the sound. Like they have the context sound effects. Audio files play appropriately. You hear Lady Vox's roars through the permafrost halls and shit. But that mirror in the Stone UI appearance box, top right, is the best part of it. I need to buy a CRT monitor so I can really go back. Yeah, Zil. Well, higher resolution is the wrong way to think of it, but if you watch like my previous streams from like last week and the whole last month, I was always using Stone UI in full screen, you know what I mean? And I was playing 1440p. But it's really a hack that takes the like 640 resolution and just kind of like stretches it. So it doesn't look pristine, you know what I mean? But it looks like what you remember. It's chunky and blocky and like the pixels look nice. For me, it was exactly how I wanted it to look. what you do is, like, if you're planning to jump in there and try it, as soon as you get in, hold Alt. I think it's Alt and Enter, or Shift and Enter, one of those, and it just takes your little stone UI box and full screens it. You're right there. It's amazing. Lucerin, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Legionnaire better stay over there. Etris, I died. No one else really died, though. My 25 Shadow Knight died in Runny Eye. I just got stunned, and I had a bunch of casters that I was pulling, and they all kind of started blasting me all at once, so I kind of died suddenly. And now with Project Quorum being less than a month away, I'm just messing around on Mischief with an SSF character and doing that instead, rather than like putting another 40 hours into a character on TAC P that I know I'm going to abandon, and it's only going to get to level 25 or something. I gotta say, though, playing on Mischief is incredible fun. Vortalis, thanks for the sub, the big 3 months. Cleric, you're still torn on what to play between Cleric and Wizard with Mana Stone. Sounds awesome. Paladin, who has never made a monk. Well, the server is slow, my man, so you have time to do all of those things. I would go Cleric to start and roll the Paladin second, or the Monk second. Honestly, I wouldn't even touch the Monk until Kunark, right? So you have 9 months before you have to worry about doing anything with a Monk. Just chill and grab the Monk for Kunark. In the meantime, prep a bunch of Twink gear so that you start strong on that Monk. Go Cleric. Oh, that's bad. Crit fail, lol. But yeah, go Cleric. It'll level much faster than a Paladin, so it'll be highly sought after if you want to group. They're effective soloers if you're focusing on dead. And get your Mana Stone. Blah, 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 you know? I need to make like a Project Quorum thing so I can like describe all the things. As soon as I zone here, I'll read a little blurb about Project Quorum. Yeah, Lucerin, you're late. Nah, I'm early. Boop, boop, boop. Pull up my Project Quorum post. Is this guy right at the zone line behind me? So I made a little cheat sheet because people were asking a lot, like what the deal is with Project Quorum. Not just here, but like even on the forums. It's hard to find a single spot where you know everything that's unique or different about it. So I made a cheat sheet called Project Quorum Notables. 1. It's an emulated EverQuest server that starts in Classic. Will eventually go to Planes of Power. Every 9 months, you'll unlock a new expansion. It starts in Classic. It uses the EQMac or Trilogy client, which is much older and more classic than Titanium. It features a functional Stone UI option and Velius UI, and the original like Stone UI transparent alternative option. All works there. You can use certain custom UIs though if you want. Like you can use the Luckland UI, you can use Dux's UI if you're not into Stone UI. It's going to have the legacy items in, like Mana Stone, Rubicite, Lustrous Russet, J-Boots dropping off Drizelna, Guys, and more. It's going to launch without Soul Road Temple, the whole Plane of Fear, Hate, and Sky. I was told today they decided to keep Payneal in at launch, but it was originally planned that was not going to be in. It launches without Undead and Kithakor. There's going to be a GM event for the Kithakor, the Battle of Bloody Kithakor. You can recharge clickies. There are no hybrid EXP penalties, so easy time playing Rangers, Paladins, Shadow Knights, and Bards. Race penalties and bonuses are still active though. It has relatively accurate classic EXP formulas, relatively accurate AC formulas that were mined from someone like doing like 1,000 hours of parsing on EQMac before it closed, which was permanently locked into the first patch of POP, so pretty accurate there. But he added some quality of life things like buff timers, item links, auto standing when you cast, which weren't in Classic. You could scroll on your mouse like we talked about. There's no boxing on it. Raid mobs will be rotated among guilds that qualify for rotations. And then every 7 to 10 days, there will be an earthquake, which makes the mobs like competitive, either DPS race or FTE, depending. It's something that you'll find out when the quake happens. It'll tell you like, oh, these are DPS race mobs, you know what I mean? Or they're first to engage mobs. It's going to have pre-revamped Kha'Zix Thul, Paw, and Runny Eye. That's Paw 1.5 probably. Someone is working on Paw 1.0. Apparently recently someone discovered a lot of data on it, but they're not sure that Paw 1.0 will be ready for Classic launch. And it has built-in support for SSF permadeath rule sets. Like you can go to the Priest of Discord and say, hey, I want to be solo self-found, and then the Priest of Discord hits you with a flag that like hard-coded you cannot trade or any of that shit. Or you want to say, hey, I want to be permadeath, and he will hard-code it so that when you die, your character just delete. Doc, I don't know. I love the Paladin. It's like a class that people sleep on. They think it sucks. Some of the other classes I think would be too easy. Like any caster is basically just too easy to bother an SSF run with, because like why? Everyone knows that you can solo and not die on a wizard, a necro, an enchanter, a mage. Yeah, so I don't do it on them. Let's do this. See what you got, Legionnaire. Shadow Knight has Feign Death. Try to avoid the Feign Death classes as much as I can. Rogue is too hard, Warrior is too hard, and like the pure melee classes are like too boring. So I think the best SSF classes in terms of fun to play, can do creative shit, would be Paladin and Ranger. They have a lot of tricks and tools they can use. Dude, this guy is annihilating me. But a warrior and a rogue and a monk, it's kind of like, okay, I can't beat this mob. Well, I just lose, right? Like if you can't just head-to-head out-punch it, you lose, and there's not a lot of trickery you could do. Like you could strafe kite and throw shurikens at it, I guess. Not exactly engaging gameplay. So yeah. Right now they're super terrible quest EXP on most TAC-P quests and Project Quorum quests, but they're doing a deep dive right now to try to fix and correct and dial the quest EXP into where it ought to be, erring on the side of harder rather than easier, but where they think it should be based on the best evidence they can gather before launch. Dally, good to see you, bro. J-Boots will be a drop for the first month or so, yeah. It's Project Quorum, like the final boss of Planet Time, Etris, but I am. And yeah, you can join as a casual. Yeah, probably DKP rating. Pied linked it, so you'd grab that link off Militia Bot and post in there, and I'll give you access. It's all good, dude. Am I getting hit from behind or something? Why am I getting rocked by this guy? He's like 2 levels lower than me. Okay, 1 level lower than me, but still. What are you doing, dude? This will level me up if I can kill him. You are no match for a Legionnaire. Yeah, Ghastly. I'm gonna get the one that I'm really looking forward to is Instrument of Knife. I think that's the big out of era spell I'll be getting. What the fuck, man? This guy's trucking. I need to be careful. Like, I don't have a get out of jail free card on this. My alteration skill is not good enough. Oh, there we go. That's right, bro. I'm back. 100% health almost. Honestly, he was only at 55, so he should still win this. What is he max hitting me for? He's not bashing. Oh, he is bashing. It's just rare. He's hitting me for 24 damage. I just have I have super low health. No AC. I should have farmed plat. I mean, there's not a lot of platforming to do at this level, but I should have like farmed plat so I could go into smithing just enough to get banded. Banded would make a big difference, I think. Mischief is a time-locked progression server, Angus, and it is it's kind of like a server after Bristlebanes, so loot is randomized. Rare mob and raid mob loot. It's randomized. Raid mobs are within tiers of other raid mobs in their expansion. Rare mobs are based on like a level spread. So the Orc Taskmaster over here near me is a rare mob. He's level 14 or 13 or whatever. Which means that anything from like level 11 to 15 that drops loot can drop the same shit. Can drop off of him. This Legionnaire just fucking sucks, dude. He's gonna aggro all the shit in that hallway. Unreal, man. So much time wasted fighting that thing. Oh yeah, and it's free trade. So like Throne of Eye loot rules, nothing is no drop except for specific zone key items like the Vishan's Peak key and epic items. It is really cool for SSF, yeah. Honestly, it's kind of infuriating that I have like nothing I can do about fleeing mobs. I need a real weapon badly. Which spells are you talking about? Which vendor spells, Arc? Are you talking about like the SOF, like quest vendors? Oh, that is weird. Having to do a bunch of bullshit to get your spells like really sucks my desire to play things on late game EverQuest. Like I don't want to have to work on faction to get my spells. You do a bunch of dumb quests to be able to get a spell. After expansion 5000. Do you know which expansion it was, Etris? That is super weird, Arc. TM's back up. Double whip. Oh my gosh. Jesus Christ. Lull him. Lull him. Grab this dude. Do I have the inside track? No, sir, I do not. Unfortunately. I'm sure I won't be playing on the 25th anniversary TLP anyway, though. With Project Quorum and Mischief, so many other games and stuff, it's just too much. I heard they almost did a PvP server this last year, but they landed on Oakland instead. DON. You hate AUGs. AUGs make things really complicated, and it makes having box characters a big chore. It's like twice the amount of gear that you have to keep track of. Godwin, I want to answer you about the Quorum rule set, but I've explained it like 8 times this hour. Basically, it's P99, but eventually it will reach Planes of Power. That's the easiest way to think of it. Imagine if they launched P99 like purple next month, and every 9 months it progressed from Classic to another expansion ending in Planes of Power. That's pretty much it. Get my in-game text for chat looking so clean. Skick, welcome to the chat. What I do is, this is just chat font 5. That's all I have, really. It makes it bigger because I'm old and my resolution, like if the higher your screen resolution, the smaller all the on-screen text is. Yeah, so this is /chat font, 1 word, space 5. Yeah, power sources suck too. Ding. Shackle key 17, let's go. Hello, fine young wood elf maiden. Will this free you? No. How about this one? Well, you know what? Screw it. How about you? This one? Womp. Probably a little close to this dude here. Gotta meditate for a minute, and then we'll try this TM. He's a blue con, I'm sure he'll destroy me though. Johan, thanks for the follow. No, I'm not gonna do the Screaming Mace. The Screaming Mace honestly sucks. I would rather just farm this guy for, I think he could drop like a PGT or something, right? Or is that, I'm thinking of the North Row dude could drop it. What is the best weapon our boy here could drop? He could drop a Scute Shield, which is what I really want. He could drop a Riptide Spear, Bracers of Battle, Skull of Gentra, Nightmare Hide, Ribcage Chest Armor, Iron Shackles, Bone Spear, Labyrinth Talisman would be nice. Oh, you know what? I wonder if the fact that he's got 2 whips means he rolled a second Taskmaster. That must be what it is. He's going to drop a brass earring. I have to stand before some stupid Grey Con aggroes me. Alright, we're going to lull. Yelp. Immediately stunned. Cool. Targeting myself now. He did like no damage. That's cool though. Hide some of these corpses. So, yeah, I don't think he can really drop any good weapons. It doesn't look like. Scoot Shield would be the biggest win that we could get out of this. Rahotep can drop the Polished Granite Tomahawk, though. He's like the next camp after this. Are there any cool TSS weapons or armor that... yeah, probably. If you look at that... what is that zone with the bees in it? Stonehive? The named there probably drop a bunch of cool shit. Don't you interrupt me, you scum. I don't think he can drop the Bone-Bladed Claymore. I don't know if that mob is flagged rare. That's the problem. Orc Warlord is in the same pool as this guy. Enzo, good evening, good evening. He is dropping loot from mobs. Why is my health so low? He's dropping loot from mobs from level 11 to 15. Jeez, what did he hit me for? He like deleted my heal with his 26 damage plus 8 damage double. Ah, look, double attack for 26. I can't kill this guy. Because he's dual wielding whips and can hit for 26 damage. This game is trash. So dumb. Yeah, I mean, P99, it's like camp your 5 mobs, you know what I mean? And that's it. GG. You need 2 Legionnaire shoulder pads to turn in for EXP, right? Fizzle, 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 out of mana. You don't need 3 belts, you can turn in 1 belt. I mean, I could be wrong. I just don't recall it being necessary. I thought it was 1 belt at a time with 2 shoulder pads. See what this Hammer of Wrath does, baby. I think it's got Bane Undead. Say 632. With Bane plus 3 undead, so it's really good against undead. Let's check out our boy Rahotep. Rahotep is level 16 in a zone with no Zem. Actually, there's like randomly a 5% Zem or something in North Row. but we're probably not ready to do Rahotep yet. .9. A modest improvement over our Orcish Mace. But super good against undead at 0.2. Oh, Enzo, you're one of those dirty bards. There's a lot of drama in the Project Quorum Discord, like this guy kind of complaining constantly about one bard who was kiting all the gnolls around outside of Blackborough. And he brought it up in secrets, like, said, okay, cool, I'll limit bards swarming in newbie zones to 4 mobs max, so that on launch day and stuff, there's not a few bards just swarming everything, ruining the content. I'm like, cool, seems good. But then, like, he kept bringing it up, still bringing it up today, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, that's exactly what you want to experience in beta, right? You want to find something that doesn't work, you report it, and then there's a solution, and it's done. How are we still talking about it? Right, it's fixed, it's fixed. Yeah, you can, Enzo. Lazy Lion's Den, who's frequently in this chat, was the guy who was swarming. I mean, I definitely empathize with not wanting bards to be able to swarm all this stuff in these zones, right? Because, like, especially at those early levels, it takes them a long time to kill anything. Like, if there was a mage camping some gnolls, every 4 minutes the gnolls respawn, or 6 minutes, but it takes the bard like more than 10 minutes to kill. It takes them longer than the respawn time of the mob to kill the pool. What is this again? I think it's slower, right? No, 32. It's faster but weaker. Yes, Enzo, you have to do it manually. I think if he had a shiny brass shield, we would be able to see the light effect, right? So we can say with confidence that he does not have a shield right now. There's been a ton of back and forth about pets. Like, they originally were going to have pets, like if you do 1 point of damage, you get full EXP, but now it's going to, you have to do 51%. You have to do more damage than your pet does to get full EXP, otherwise your pet takes a portion of the EXP. Which is what I expected, right? That's kind of like what it is on green. That's what I kind of remember from Classic and whatever. That, like, if you're soloing as a mage or a necro, you have to do more damage than your pet. And I remember, like, sending in my pet late on purpose so it wouldn't KS me, not KS me, but steal basically a pile of my EXP And then they're like, oh yeah, it's going to apply even to groups. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck? I mean, I found some stuff that suggests that in Classic, that's how it was, in fact. But, I mean, basically, like, imagine this. The example I gave was like, you're in High Keep, right? You're farming goblins with a level 20s group. Era appropriate, level appropriate, but it's the server launch, so no one's twinked. Your group is totally reasonable Classic EverQuest group. Paladin, Cleric, Monk, Rogue, Enchanter, and Bard. A wonderful group composition. The stupid Legionnaire. Let's see if I can get this guy to the zone line so at least he can't run into the castle when I weaken him enough. So I'm like, let's say that's your group, right? If that Enchanter charms Osargon, which is a perfectly reasonable thing to do, once again, their pet is going to steal a portion of the group's EXP. Because Osargon is going to out DPS a monk with no weapons and a rogue with probably like a fine steel dagger or something. You know what I mean? He's going to smoke it. The tank's not doing any reasonable amount of damage. The bard really not doing a whole lot in there either. So just having like a normal group that you would have is penalized by having an enchanter charm in it. And they're like, well, you know, someone was like, oh, you only lose 14% of EXP because it's taken a 7th or whatever. And if the charm pet is doing 50% of the group's DPS, then that seems like it's appropriate. And I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, do we 6 months from now, are we going to penalize a group because it has a rogue with like a Vox Spear in it and he's doing 50% of the damage? It just seems like stupid. And all it's going to do, like, if I'm playing a mage, right, I would just never group with a melee on the grind up, because my pet, I'm going to divide my EXP with them by being in a group, and then my pet is still going to be 50% of the damage. So I'm going to like only duo with other pet classes, because if you have 2 mages, then like you only have to do 10% of the damage, right? Like both the pets do 45%, and each mage nukes once and you're like safe. You know you're not gonna get KS'd. Unrest, maybe, but like a lot of the shit I'd be fighting in the Unrest yard isn't even undead, it's like beetles, and there's a lot of social aggro in Unrest. And the hardest part would actually just be getting through Dagnor's Cauldron right now. Hey Toe, I'm glad you're enjoying the podcast. Welcome, man. We had a new episode hit today. It's technically last night. Yeah, Snuffer. So every time a mob dies, it drops its... it basically rolls. It rolls twice. And it can land on any table within its level range. When it first came out, it had this really cool thing where like it dropped a loot table. It populated a loot table on spawn, and then it rolled and decided, or it flipped a coin pretty much, right, and decided if it was going to add another loot table. And it just kept doing this until eventually it landed on add no more loot tables. And every, I was told something along those lines, and every time it landed on yes, it incremented the odds of landing on a no or whatever. So eventually it would hit no. But it meant when we were doing the server launch race on Mischief, we were getting some kills in Soul A that were dropping like 15 items. You're like, okay, this has a Guise of the Deceiver, a Pegasus Feather Cloak, a Ghoulbane, and a Charred Guardian Shield or whatever. I think Charred Guardian Shield is the wrong shield, but you know, the Soul A shield is what I'm thinking of. You're like, dude, this is amazing. Yeah, exactly, Angus. Yep, it becomes a group member. It siphons off a portion of that EXP. And I mean, I just feel like it should solo. I get it. I don't like it in a group. But at the same time, why did I loot that stupid silk? But at the same time, I said like, hey, if it's classic, keep it, right? I generally err on the side of like, if it's classic, suck it up. A new episode is Agnar. The Agnar server. You don't have to do 51% of total pet damage. No, you just have to make sure that no single pet does 50%, 51% of the damage. But remember, there's no real group EXP bonus. So grouping is always suboptimal EXP if you don't have to group. But yeah, 2 pets pretty much makes it so that only by being really lazy would you not out DPS them. Wouldn't surprise me if the first 50 on the server was a halfling druid. 5% EXP bonus is big with a slow EXP rate. And the other thing is like that they're primarily, I think, targeting charm with that 50% thing, but like an enchanter is just going to charm something, break the charm at 10% and kill both mobs, right? They're not even going to have to deal with that. It just doesn't matter to them. So I was like, what is the actual goal? You know what I mean? What is the goal of implementing this? Because there was a few people in the Discord advocating for it, and no one could actually offer any real goal. Not surprised. Enchanter Cleric duo would be like really shit though. Snuffer under that EXP rule set, because the Enchanter pet will steal the EXP every single time. Unless you're breaking it right before the end and trying to kill him yourself, which is possible. I did not participate, Enzo. It went pretty well from what I heard. They had like 90 people or something in North Kanos, and it didn't crash, which is pretty much like what you're hoping for, right? Can we stuff 100 people in a zone and it still runs? Just duo next, baby. Necro. Duo 1 to 50. I think mage would be a safer bet, yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do about this Taskmaster, dude. Like, even another level from now, even at 15, I'm not confident I could kill it. Requires level 30 to throw this disease charge at something. Does it really require level 30 to use this? That doesn't make any sense. This would only be sort of okay at level 10. Depends on the kill rate in groups with pets. It's the deciding factor, I think, for that, Angus, would be, do you have a camp that supports the throughput you could produce, right? Because if you get capped on mobs due to the mob difficulty further into the dungeon, or not enough mobs in the camps that you can clear generally, then you're just screwing yourself over, right? But if you have a 3-pet group and you kill as fast as you can and you never run out of mobs, then that's probably optimal. But I would suggest that there's probably a lot of camps where that wouldn't be the case, and you just kind of end up with some dead time. I don't have the stun spell on me, but I might be able to buy it. It might be level 14. That's a tough call, Enzo. I mean, I think Druid is the best way to start. Helpful on raids. You can charm bats and polar bears for the dragon raids. You can heal. Leveling is really fun, and you can farm gear for your next class. Yeah, that's pretty much what I think, Snuffer. I think if you're in a group, pet should not leech EXP no matter what. It should be like a solo thing. Shackle key 19. Oh, Jesus. I landed Flash of Light and then I fell in the pit. It'd be amazing. Messiah. It'd scare all the P99ers away, though. Honestly, like, I don't see a good reason to ever just not have Throne of Vi loot rolls on every server. It's more immersive. It's better for the economy. It's more fun. I can get randomized loot not doing that, but it should be like the exception. No drop should be the exception, not the rule. Rogues are super cool, Doc. What race do you play for your rogue, though? Nice, Snuffer. Well, that's good news, then. Yeah, I'm thinking about like maybe a druid or a cleric or a necro. Slight chance of going mage. I did a necro on green launch. It was really on teal launch, and I just did it because I wanted to play necro. And I really, really loved leveling the necromancer, so that might be what I do. Just because it's so fun. But I made an erudite, and well, you know what? They just added Peniel, so I'm torn between human or erudite. Take this key. What about this key? There we go. Finally saved somebody. Destroy this Legionnaire Bracer. I don't want to mess with this guy right now. Let's go check the Orc Trainer. Blue Centurion. Okay. Drag him down the way. Fall before the might of Clan Crushbone. When I was a kid, we built like this little clubhouse. There's like a stream near our house, like a little river kind of stream thing. And it had this part on the river where there was like some kind of construction previously, so part of it like popped out and you could walk on it. It was like wet, but you could just walk on it. And you had to go through a small patch of woods to get to it. And we built like a little fort there. And I nailed a piece of wood onto the tree right before you got to the river. And we wrote on the wood, Clan Crushbone. That was our fort name. I was the only kid who played EverQuest, but they thought it was cool, so we kept it. Had this big stone thing that kind of looked like a throne that you could sit on the far side of the river. And that's why I thought to call it Clan Crushbone. And then if you kept going through the woods, you eventually like crossed, like you found railroad tracks, crossed this big trestle, and there was like these fields of like shale, like this just like this thin flaky black rock, But like as far as you could see, it was basically just this and then trees. Like it seemed huge as a kid, and we called that Black Burrow. It was super cool. Erudites look super cool, man. I'm digging the hooded look. You know what I mean? But the stats are rough. And here's the kicker. Erudites are KOS and Kanos. Necromancer Erudites, that is, are KOS and Kanos. So your leveling options are really, really limited. You gotta like sneak through the sewers and shit. You can't do Null Fangs. You can't do Bandit Sashes. You can't do Moonstones. You can't do Diseased Animal Pelts. It's a real big bummer. And if you're trying to level fast, Erudite is not the way to go. Toxulia Forest might be the worst newbie zone of all time. It's real bad. Seriously, yeah, that's the problem. If I could at least be dubious in Kanos, I would do it, but like it's a huge pain in the ass. You're threatening to the guards, and then once you level in Black Burrow, you fix your guard faction, you're still KOS to the Wizard, Mage, and Chainer Guild, and the Wizard Guildmasters path around South Kanos, and they will just roll up and one-shot you randomly as they path through, because they're still super KOS to you. Yeah, Erudite Cleric is a rough one. You gotta be tough. But I think Erudite Paladin is even worse than Erudite Cleric. It's the swaggiest Paladin race, though. Nothing is cooler than that Erudite Paladin with the flaming sword and everything. Paladin of Prexus. Do I have any raid videos from TFO on Lockjaw? I have a bunch of Faceless Insanity raid videos, yeah. Yeah, gotta get that shield. That Plane of Hate shield. Shield of the Stalwart Seas, yep, there it is. You probably see some mail if you go to YouTube and you put EverQuest DPS race. Yeah, do EverQuest DPS race Lockjaw, and you'll see a bunch of them. Put that on YouTube. Hey, Orc Trainer, if you could show up with your shield one of these days, it'd be real cool. Because my guy with the Scoot shield was dual wielding whips and kicking my ass. I know, Slazik, that'd be so cool. On Mischief, I had a level 1 Paladin in Classic with a Fiery Avenger. Someone paid me 40 chrono to buy it off of me. I was like, sure thing, man, here you go. Why would you aggro me? Yukon Grey. You don't give EXP, dude. Settle down. You're gonna run at like 50% too. Pied, what the Pied? 10 gifted subs, Pied. Thank you so much, dude. Pied, you're up to like 225 gifted subs. Pied, you're crazy. Giant Naked Ninja, Killian, Saggy Arn Life, Siarts, Morgruk, Sikdor, Mewman, Vith, and Venendra. Congratulations on your subs. And thanks again, Pied. Man, look at Vith has that founder badge. So does Pied and Chinchilla. It was crazy. I remember the day I made affiliate. That felt crazy. I was in Unrest, and a loving robot was hanging out in the stream. Yeah, Pied's a madman. 85 gifted subs in the last couple days. Seriously though, Pied, thank you very much. That's awesome. Who are your character names? I'm just gonna leave this. Ooh, that would have been super cool, Doc. Flame of Quellius. Just a self buff that, like, imbues your weapon. Forgot I had maps till I like randomly hit M here. Man, look how crisp and clean that map is. Except for this random thing that they put on here with all this these red lines. There we go. There's this area in Crushbone that I never really see anyone go to. Behind the slaver hut. There's this cool little cave thing by the river with a bridge. You're running your own business now, right, Pied? Nice. What if Pied was Jeff Bezos and like the company he owned was Twitch? He just has like a sub button he can press and it just dumps subs on channels. Need 6 more kills before we can try Taskmaster again. Come on. Come on. Thank you. You are no match for a Legionnaire. That flash of light resolved a little bit slower than I expected. Oh, I'm targeting myself. Great. Yeah, I should probably stop and craft a set of banded here soon. Otherwise, things are going to get increasingly difficult. Right, SOS. Well, you know, Quorum, they just fixed the mouse scrolling stuff in the beta of Project Quorum, so it's going to be part of our life now. I don't know if Project Quorum has, like, left-click rotate like this. So Doc, they just finished fixing the scrolling on Quorum today. It's not live yet. I don't think it's been patched in, but Secrets was showing it as he worked on it and showing the final product and how smooth it looked on like his little test server. Dude, this mob is this is TLP, okay? So this is supposed to be easy, and this mob is like multiple levels lower than me. Why am I losing? It pretty much looked the same as this, just not as fast. Yeah, they did Pi just today. Secrets was streaming it, so it's going to be even smoother than what you're currently experiencing. I don't know when that'll get patched in, but it's definitely going to be before launch. More yelp. Gotta stop and heal myself. What do you guys think yelp sounds like? What is he doing? 24, 6, 24, 1, 18. Stop it. Stop bashing too. Claude, this is Mischief. It's a TLP server. Welcome to the chat. Yelp. I imagine it with like a goofy voice, you know what I mean, from Disney. Yelp. Just kind of like casually say that while you're in a life or death struggle. Berserkers came out in Gates of Discord. It really is. I mean, like if you play like this, you're actually at a huge disadvantage. So much of EverQuest's original difficulty is like limited character awareness, you know what I mean? And so many times back in the day I died because like some random shit rolled up behind me that I wasn't aware of. But with this third person and being able to scroll all around, like that's pretty much gone. Please land a hit. Shoulder pads, let's go. I'm just gonna destroy all this cloth armor shit. Large bone shield. Can't use it because it's large only. I wonder what it sells for. Don't mind me. I'm just a tree. Usually a giant, right? You hear that loud footstep, like, and then you hear that critical hit sound, like that really crunchy hit, and then it's just loading. Please wait. Dude, I'm a tree. Why would you even think to attack me? It's not worth the time investment to kill a Greycon Orc Centurion when I could be meditating. Thanks, Slazik. Oh yeah, I love that skeleton laugh sound. A lot of the original EQ sound effects and stuff are public domain, so every now and then you'll be like in a random place where they leave TVs on all the time, like the doctor's office, and you'll just hear like the ding noise. And you're like, what? What was that? You could definitely just Google like EQ ding noise and find it on the internet to download the sound effect and all that stuff. Blue versus green orcs. I'm trying to think, where do we have green orcs? These are the blue orcs, right? Even though they're green on their flags, and then the green orcs are the common land orcs. Death Fist, yeah. I don't know. I don't think I know anything about the Death Fist orcs. It is interesting that the Dark Elves assist these orcs, but they don't help the Death Fist orcs. Like, the Dark Elves should just be shipping the Death Fist orcs over here to assist. Purple orcs. The Rygor. Rygor are super cool. Dark blue, baby. Let's go. Level 9 and 10. Okay. Oh, you know what? Let's actually do the trainer first. Yeah, I don't know anything about why they're different colors. Just regional differences, I suppose. Oh, there's purple orcs in Everfrost. I always forget about the Kanos orcs. The Hallis orcs. Oh, I definitely get why they're helping these guys, but they should help, you know, they should add some more to it. They should bust them in. You have to think, if EverQuest was like a real world and the Dark Elves and the High Elves and the Wood Elves all hated each other, you have to think about like the kind of shit that would really go down. Like, assuming that you didn't just have constant like literal warfare if you were a dark elf, right? You have like a sanitation system. Wouldn't you just take all of the shit from Neriac, and I mean shit literally, and teleport it to the G-Face Spires like once a week? And here you go, what else? Have this. Enjoy. Oh yeah. I'm losing to the Orc Trainer right now, dude. What? I killed you like 10 times tonight. I'm about to just go get the Deepwater Harpoon. Fuck it, man. Right. That's so good, Jellin. I wish. I don't see the glow, but I hope he does. It's more likely he has like a Defiant breastplate or some shit. But yeah, just, you know, like, you basically couldn't have a city that was right next to the G-Face Spires the way Kelethin and Felwith are, because it would be so dangerous. Like, literally a whole army of Dark Elves could just pour it in at any moment. At least Neriac is, like, in a mountainside, underground, defensible. Take, like, 3 fireballs to turn Kelethin into nothing. They definitely would, yeah. Just destroy society, like poured in a bunch of Black Rough Stout, leave it there for free. Charles Edward Cheese III, thanks for the follow. Undermine the culture. %. We're so close. Yeah, but what if you just all counted to 3 and cast the spell at the same time and rolled in with like 800 Dark Elves, right? The Dark Elves could arrive at any moment, but you have to post the guards 24/7 to catch them. So the burden of defense is just so much higher than the burden of offense. You'd have to build some kind of trap around it, you know what I mean? Like, get with the gnomes who are over there in Akanon and have like a big clockwork dumbbell or anvil that just, you press a button and it crushes everything in the spires instantly. Some dude, dumb orc in here that's gonna aggro me. A big aggressive party. So this is the area I was talking about. I never see groups go back here for some reason. Anyone in chat ever camp this area back here? This area, I guess, a little bit, but not in these little caves here. Pulled from it, yeah. I think we have like an emissary and some Legos over here, right? There's a Lego right there. All right, Lego, let's get it. Can't get him through the tent flaps. What just? An orc thaumaturgist just snared me. Oh baby, that's not great. What is our best exit strategy here? I could go... Can I go that way? Can I get up here? Oh, see you guys. Bye, nerd. Is there an explanation for why the capitalist bank has a wall blocking the faces of bankers? I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. Safety. There have been a few robberies. There's a lot of bandits out there. It's important to work on your jumping skills. Now I don't get out of combat regen for 5 minutes. That's pretty cool. Should have bought that cure disease spell. I always say, like, I'll never have to cure disease. And then you always regret not buying cure disease. Alright, I need to go AFK for just 1 second. I'll be right back, okay? I'll be right back. We're back. Yeah, rabies sucks. Rabies lasts like 30 minutes, right? That's definitely the worst one. Disease cloud. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh man, this Pokemon battle music in the background is hitting real good. That would be really funny, Snorlax, right? Like if you don't cure it, it death touches you. You can't drink any water while you have it. I don't know if anyone here didn't know, but when you have rabies, you become like, I forget what the term is. So you're like aquaphobic. You'll get super thirsty and you cannot bring yourself to drink. Hydrophobic, yeah. 3-day dot duration DTs you at the end, dude, that'd be hilarious. That's crazy. There's like 1 or 2 people who just like randomly survived rabies, got better. Like I wouldn't take those odds because it's like 1 or 2 people in history, but you know. Feeling a little nervous about the situation because of that Legionnaire over there. I have a feeling this guy's gonna run. He's gonna hit that Lego, gonna barely kill this dude hopefully, and then have to run his own out with that Legionnaire. I'll take those odds. Who's got rabies? Let me get some of that. I mean, I think you literally die. Like, when you have rabies, even if you go to the hospital, you just die. This guy's like inching up closer to me, like he's like, boo, not looking at him. He's moving to me. All right, Slaver, we're gonna do this thing where you don't run, okay? We're both gonna agree. No, we talked about this. This is nightmare mode. There we go, 10%. Come on. Land a stun bash. There we go. Gotcha. Not today. One more kill. Lull this dude. And grab homeboy here. Nice. Open up with a 10 damage hit, or 10% hit on him. Hit my Yelp. And fall in the pit, like every single time. And then we're in it. Lazarinth. There's one treatment and it doesn't work at a very high percentage. It's called the Milwaukee Protocol. Interesting. Do you know what it is? On Classic, how long would it take? 15 hours a week. You're talking about like on Project Quorum or like original Classic, not on TLP, right? What class are you playing? If you need a group, it is significantly longer because you have to find a group, and that's gonna it's gonna take like half the session. Oh, that sounds rough. Oh, Quorum, Clerics can solo. If you have a plan and you stick to the plan, focus on good Zems and Quest EXP. Let us see. We expect Quorum to take like, I don't know. Let's go high. Let's go high and say 20 days played, right? So that's 480 hours divided by 15. 32 weeks. So a little bit after Kunark comes out, you will hit you'll hit 50. It's not bad. The protocol puts a person into a chemically induced coma and uses antiviral medications to prevent fatal dysautonomia. The overall protocol is complex. The 6th version of the protocol, last updated in 2018, consists of 17 pages with 22 steps of treatment, detailed monitoring, and a timeline of expected complications. Yeah, that's what I was. That's kind of what Secrets was saying, was 20 days. But I don't know, like, I feel like that's an overestimation. I'll tell you what I think it'll really be, okay? I think it's going to be like 12 days played, 288 hours divided by 15. It's going to take you 19 weeks if you're very, very effective. But the other thing is, like, the slower you level, you start to end up grouping with people's second characters who are twinked, and then you're leveling faster and faster because of that. I should probably like get 100%, right? Opening good, 3% damage into a strafe out of combat. Catch him with the flash of light on the way over here. No, he's running too fast. Stop it. Why would you just beeline in the opposite direction? How is that the strat? I get that he's going to run in a random direction, but it's usually like they blitz all around. Why is it consistently straight in the opposite direction of me? I was thinking it would land, he'd be close enough, we'd meet in the middle, kind of. It wore off quick. Multiple Legionnaires. Can I get a blind off on one of them? Go away. It looks like when I blinded that Legionnaire, I helped his pathing out. He got here first. There we go. Now I've got you all by yourself at the zone line, fool. You fell for my trap. Alright, see you in a sec, dude. That is a good moral of the story, MJJ. Don't get rabies unless you've got cure disease. I know you guys liked my pull strat there. You thought I messed up, but it was actually just a really complicated solo pull. Where'd he go, dude? Oh, here it is. Oh, why am I spamming this like an ape? Man, that one level made a big difference. Turn this guy into a chump. Alright, what do we think? Are we doing all this for 2 shiny brass earrings or whatever? Maybe 1 shiny brass earring and 2 whips. He could drop the breastplate from Yimph the Infernal, right? Maybe not. Nope. He could not. Let's find out what the easiest way to get Ghoulbane is. Ghoulbane drops from Shin Lord. He's level 30. Unrest. So that means anything from 25 to 30 should drop it. For me, it's probably the Undead Knight of Unrest. Froglock Warden could drop it. He's pretty easy. Undead Barkeep could drop it. That's real easy. Lockjaw could drop it. Varsoon. Hard Camp. Yeah, so definitely Unrest is the place to go because you have the Undead Barkeep and the Undead Knight of Unrest both in that spot. But I don't get my Undead Nuke till 30. He could drop a Bracer of Battle, I think, yeah. Let me check Warlord here. Orc Warlord is level 15. Yeah, so he could drop a Bracer of Battle. Personally, I would prefer that he didn't. I had 2 of those crunchy hits just there. Did you hear it? Oh, another one. Hit me for 26. Hit me for 23. Alright, we're going to go for some healing. Boom. pretty much wrapped up now. Nolan Balmers. Are they easy? Man, it's scary. They're like, they're undead. They're necromancers, you know? And there's that high level froglock that can spawn and path around the lake and just farm touch me. Oh, it's like worse than we thought. Okay, we got 1 brassy ring, cool. And we got 2 bottles of go fuck yourself. 2 leather whips. Men's moderate wounds, healing between 175 and 175 points of health. But why? What would I use it on? What's the context that I could use that? Oh man, I really needed that lantern. Should probably heal myself first. So the pro strat, if we weren't on Mischief and it was easy to just sit here and farm these, would be to get 4 of these rings, 2 for my ears for the AC, and then 2 to turn in and fell with to get strength rings. Yeah, it's really good. Everyone here should go play on Mischief and join Faceless, by the way. You should specifically all play Shamans, Druids, and Clerics. And you should commit to raiding every Wednesday and Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for the next 3 years. Don't worry, Quorum will raid on Monday and Tuesday. Two days a week? Too much. Are you considering a main change to Cleric, Miko? Miko, what's your raid attendance like these days? I know it's hard for you with the time zone stuff. Ooh, Orc Trainer Gray. Feels bad. Death. Death to all who oppose the Crushbone Orcs. They're usually like... for like 2.5 hours. They're done before 11 p.m. Eastern. 99% of the time. Very fast. I know that he'll have the light source when he's got the shield. But just because I don't see the light source doesn't mean I give up hope. You know? In fact, it's kind of suspicious that this Orc Trainer's corpse is still here. Okay, he just had some spider webs on him. Imagine I'm ruffling through this guy's pockets, I just find a spider web. I'm like, ah, I'll take that. Birdmouth, yes, actually, we will have mercenaries in 10 days. September 14th, it is the perfect time to come join Faceless. Then you should definitely, I mean, if you're at 50% RA, I would definitely say swap to a cleric. It's helpful, you know? Definitely helpful. When you're there, you're there. Yeah, what guild were you in, Snorlax? And what expansion? Look at you. Look at you, doubters. I told you we never give up. Give me that. Look at that light source, man. Ye of little faith. I know I was the one who said there would be a light source. Okay, but you can't just be going around trusting every Twitch streamer who says some shit about this game. That should teach you all a lesson. I mean, I guess there's like, God, do you see that lag? That's crazy. EverQuest, what are you doing, baby? This guy's going to respawn soon. I just want to make sure that it's not going to be the named. I should probably lull them first, huh? Slip through the trees here. Lull. You're gray. Sit right here. What time did we kill that orc taskmaster at? 02. It's been 6 minutes. We have 2 more minutes. Really, it was 02:54, so it was really 03. Ten out of 10 times sickness, 100%. You'll just hear about how the next guy walked up and got the flowing black silk sash on the first kill. It was amazing. You don't hear about the 24 straight hours you camped it beforehand. It's about time to hit that lull, I think. How much time does this give us? 2 minutes? Yeah, we should be good. We'll lull them maybe at like 11 after, just in case. Speaking of lull. Man, look at that timing. Just my internal clock going off. Man. Yeah, Jeldoran was rough. I paid like 20 chrono for the first Jeldoran that dropped on Mischief, because I was a Paladin main at that time in Kunark. And then it was like, you know, within 3 days it was super common. But I had chrono to burn and I wanted it. Wanted it right now. Guy should be due any second now, I think. Bam, look at my timing. Hey. Don't you do that shit to me. Auto attack off. Yup. This time we don't blind him. There we go. Alright, chat, what do we think? What cool loot are we going to get from any rare mob between level 11 and 15? Getting wrecked. This guy's 1 level higher than the last one I fought. Fungi tunic. Hey, baby. Shiny brass shield, I wish. Yeah, this guy's kicking my ass because he's 1 level higher than the last one. I just jumped on it, not even really thinking about the fact that he could be a higher level randomly. But I got a shiny brass shield now. Should be so much easier, right? So much more AC. Popping off with more bash damage. The odds are in my favor. My skill ups have increased. Do you mean on Mischief in this era? Like Secrets of Fadeware, Seeds of Destruction? They're incredibly active. Papa Salt, thanks for the sub, dude. Folks, if you have not checked out Papa Salt, check him out. He is a guild leader for Decisive Glifters on the Thornblade server. Leads his TLP guild. They are entering Seeds of Destruction in like 10 days. Papa Salt, thanks for the prime sub, bro. Go give him a follow if you have time. Yeah, on Mischief, it's super active. Very dynamic playstyle. Really valuable class. No guild would turn down another shaman. Be cool if I could like land a hit. There we go. Yeah, soon to be raid healer. Doc, that's a good question. I mean, 65 with max AA and slowly gearing up over time, you could probably do a lot of really cool stuff. I think you would be able to you'd be able to kill Zlantikar, maybe. Man, look at those 28 damage hits. You might be able to do Rag 1, Evolve Burrower. Virtually any group content pre-pop would be pretty easy. All right, trash. We got Splint Flint. Oh, that feels bad, dude. That's dirty. We got Dune Digger, but we only got the Armadillo hide. Necromancer blood. I don't know if any of this is worth looting. Yeah, if you did like insufficient mana to cast this heal, okay. If you did like a shaman, a warrior, and an enchanter with a good charm pet, or sorry, I would do like shaman, Shadow Knight, enchanter, depending on like specific targets you want, and then maybe swap the enchanter out sometimes for a monk. That would be what I would do. The shaman slows the mob, Shadow Knight, tanks it, and then you either have charm pet DPS or you have just good melee DPS. Can I vendor this? It looks like I probably could. I want to delete my Null Fangs, but I think I should not do that, right? Because I might turn them in. But are they even worth anything? Like, I can't wear this because it has no AC, so it's dead to me. This large bone shield tributes for 12, so it could be worth something. A leather whip. What do we soon? What's the hardest content? Blah blah blah. Did that. Bunch of crap. SK Shaman Bard. Why do you say Bard? Yeah, I don't know about the Bard because you don't have any DPS there. I mean, Bard is great as a 6-box character. It would be easy to box. But yeah, I think if you made the 3rd spot a Bard, you wouldn't have the DPS to do a lot of shit. If you were gonna 6-box, which I guess you can't do, I would do like Shatter Knight, Shaman, Bard, Monk, Cleric, or 3rd Monk. Depends. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, doing Dagarn is big. If you did Dagarn, then Zendikar will be a joke. Dude looks like he's living the good life. Well, yeah, that's a good point, Doc. If you've got like Planet Time gear, it's a whole different ballpark of what you could do versus a self-found trio. I mean, ornate pop gear is probably better than most of the raid content gear from Velius, right? I've never really looked at it, but I would just kind of assume. And ornate pop gear is just group shit. Is this guy a greedy merchant? I would guess he's a greedy merchant because he's like right by the gate there. How am I apprehensive? Like I just spent a long time killing orcs. Storm Guard, Fate Arc Champions, doesn't do anything for any of the vendors. Great. General supplies. I don't like that it has like a little thing that tells me what the vendors are for. One plat, baby, let's go. Orcish Mace, 5 plat. That's nice. Wooden Kite Shield, 2 plat. 1 plat for the Whirling Courts. 3 plat for Bottle of Drake Breath. Really 4 plat. Okay, we're good with that. Do we think I could make this jump? Not confident. Do you think that fall would kill me? I'm capped at 60 FPS, so I take a little bit more falling damage than you'd expect. Good to see you, Kajari, by the way. I don't know, chat. Should I go for it? Should I go for the jump? I'm pretty confident that that jump is bigger than it, you know, looks. When you're like right here, you're like, oh, I can make that. But then you go like this, you're like, oh, that's a pretty big jump. Are you in our Discord, Gajari? No shot. Great, awesome. How much health do I have? 500 health, man. All the marbles. Okay, we're good. 115 damage, basically. You gotta risk it. No playing it safe. Alright, so let's see. How many belts do we have? 6, 7, 8 belts. Pretty good. And 2 shoulder pads. We'll be level from this. Welcome to Jackass. This is losing my permadeath character for no reason. One time I fell off the boat between Kanos and Airden. I think it was one of those ones where like I zoned so slow the boat was not there waiting for me when I when I finished zoning. And I was like, I'll just swim it. You know what I mean? I just tried to shoot for the swim. And I got all the way to like the other zone wall, and that's when I learned that you can't swim across the zone line. You literally have to be on the boat. It was a long day. I was sweating it a little bit. I went down, surveyed the land a little bit. I felt confident, but the risk existed still. Oh yeah, I was a master of the swim after that. Oh, that's rough, Doc. Yeah, you can't find it once you're in the water like that. It's almost impossible to find the corpse. Oh yeah, definitely, Enzo. Levy and almost all the classic zones is crazy. Like Levy and Crushbone, it just is a totally different view, you know what I mean? And like Black Barrow's the same, levitating around those. I feel like I'm gonna get less EXP running to turn these items in than if I had just stayed in Crushbone and killed a few more mobs. But I will be 16, which means it's time to kill some undeads. Go camp Rahotep. Rahotep's pretty common, right? A lowland basilisk. If we were a dwarf paladin instead right now, we wouldn't look as cool, but we would have like full blood forge and a bull smasher, which would put us like a mile ahead of this paladin. But the downside is we would be a dwarf. Yeah. And a barrel roll, that's true. And like more mana and more health and swing for more damage. Our lulls would fail slightly more frequently, and that would be the only downside. It sucks that Paladins got dropped off like the low line of spells. I think it was like a core part of the kit that they should have kept growing into. But I think after 60, they never get another one. Yeah, I think after, like, some in Luckland, maybe they get one. Maybe not. But they should have, in my opinion. Like, Pallies should have had, like, that to help pull all the way through their leveling cycle, you know, like, up to current day. They should have been, like, AoE healing. And some holy damage spells that are not undead only. It would have been cool. Give them a better class identity. Like, in the lore, in the writings about the game, they have a really strong flavor and identity, but in practice in the game, they don't. And that's pretty much the same for, like, all the hybrids. Can I run over this wall? Is it 51? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they become good in, like, oh, sweet, level 120 pacify. The guy's always serious. Brow furrowed, eyes squinting. So around Underfoot, they started paying attention to Paladins again, and they get pretty good. Hey, baby, Tom. I like that when he posed for his statue that they were going to build massively on top of the city, he had to wear the hardest armor to chisel. He wasn't like, I'll wear my plate armor, nice and smooth, so it'll be easy to carve into the rock. He's like, no, I'm going to wear my chain. So you have to do every single link in that bitch. Yeah, right. Like, by the time you get it, it just doesn't matter. Guard Cardath. Guard Gabbles. Guard Humpcore. Yeah, Shadow Knight is like the class they fell in love with and never let go. You guys remember camping this dude? Bard diet. What was he, every 6 minutes, or was he a 51 second? I forget. Bam, bam, bam. Went the wrong way. What did I do? Here we go. Canlo, what's going on, my pal? 1% EXP. Really great. Bum, 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 bum. Not a big waste of time at all. Bum, 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 bum. All right, let's see what this does. Oh, it's 1% EXP with double EXP on. Just under 10. All right, 23 plats, not bad, dude. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna get out of here. Never mind. One too many Batwing crunchies on this guy. Dude, look how tight this arena is. It's just like full of bones too. They don't clean them up or anything. Yeah, it's not even an arena. You're just like in the octagon in there. I think, yeah, as a raid leader, I like Paladins better than SKs because of a good Paladin is a viable tank and also a pretty dang good healer. And it just helps so much. In a raid, every ounce of healing is good. I'm like, yo, Beast Lords, where's that greater healing at? Cast it. Shaw's mending or whatever bullshit you guys get. This feels like the wrong direction. It's not. Cleric spells. Oop. I'll take one of these. Take one of these. Take one of those. I'll take one of these, I suppose. Since I'm going to be doing undead, it could come in handy. Halo of Light. Nah. IVU, I'll keep that in the bag. Root, I'll keep in the bag. Center, I will keep in the bag. General supplies. No backpack in the general supplies, you scum. Holy Mary. Thanks for the follow. Put this here. Ward undead. Kill that, spook the dead. Alright, let's go see how we do. Gonna put these right there. Small box or large box. Great. I feel like I could handle some small boxes here. Probably be fine. Yeah, I don't know where they sell medicine bags offhand in Paladin, and I'm too lazy to look it up, so I just grabbed the boxes. If we were in Kanos, I could buy the medicine bags right away, but I'm not going to origin to Kanos and then run back to South Row, you know what I mean? Just above the Warrior Guild? Okay. This is the Warrior Guild, so this is the leather shop right here. Staff and Spear, or Pub Cow. Brewing supplies, no, this is not it. Other side. Tanned assets, oh baby. Small sewing kit, and my friend has lied to me. I think it might be the smith. It might be this dude right here, because it was a blacksmith who sold it in the other city too. Boom, there it is. Cool. Well, I guess I'll take a small profit loss on this container here. And this is an asterisk bag. Both are, okay. Four bags should be fine. I'm not good at multitasking. You guys probably noticed. Destroy. Destroy. Beautiful. Tanned asses, baby. Let's go. Oh, Royal Fizbin, I appreciate you putting that in chat, but it doesn't really matter on Mischief because we have resting regen, so the moment I sit, it's going to go up like to full pretty much instantly. A couple seconds. I'm completing my side quest on Mischief by getting Twink Blessing slot items for every class, including clickies. Nice, dude. For like level 1 Twink or what? If the server and client ticks were linked, you could do that cool thing where like you sit while you're running on the tick and get your regen. Walnon. I went from apprehensive to indifferent by turning them the quest items. Cool. For some reason, I really want to do the Regurgitonic quest. I'm not going to. It's just calling to me right now. Sometimes with EQ, things just happen to you. You don't get to pick. It's like, okay, we're going to go to Unrest because, you know, that's just what today is. I remember farming these Aqua Goblins for tons of plat back in the day before they nerfed them. They used to have loot that sold for like 10 or so plat. Maybe it was just like 1 plat, but it was just a lot. You'd go to these camps over here by the docks and lock down all the camps. Make a ton of plat that way. Oh, gross. What is this? Draw a Kanos map from memory. I think I could do it with like 99% accuracy. What is all this? Small rawhide mask? Oh, I'm not small. I can't wear it. Bye. All right. Yeah, I think I could almost do a perfect map. Do I have to name every building? That would be the hard part. But I could do North and South Kanos. Perfect for geography, and then I could name most of the places. What is that sold? The place by the Bard Guild, the Wind Spirit Song is the Bard Guild, and right next to that is a smith. I think it's called like the Tin Soldier. Stream it. I have to like move my camera. Oh, you know what? I could just do it on MS Paint, right? Travel to Freeport. I don't know. You guys want me to stream myself trying to draw the Kanos map from memory on MS Paint before we end the stream tonight? My MS Paint skills aren't that good. I could freehand it like real quick. Spiritual Arcanist, is that like the phase 1 of the Kadisha event? Or is that just a named? That's not flagged as rare. Why do they wear masks? Because they're little banditos. Maybe it's because halflings are naturally mischievous, rebellious people, and the police in Rivervale know that if their identities were ever revealed, the halflings who are mischievous and resent law and order would murder them in their sleep, so they have to hide their identities. Yeah, that's the phase 1 part. That sucks. Whoa, Doc, no. I mean, I don't support it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that. Oh, wait, I guess if that's my thought of halflings, that's the... I see what you did there. You got me. And their big hairy feet, too, while we're at it. They secretly worship raccoons. Yeah, Pied Rocks. Undead Ruins. Pretty deep in here, man. Imagine if I just ran by Doondigger and killed him and got the shield. That'd be amazing. Doondigger is like one of the rarest NPCs in Classic. I pretty much have to grab this whole zone and just AE it. For a long time. I wonder if it'd be worth it to kill Dervs just to get 2 rings. When I was a kid, the leveling route back in the day was like starter zone to Crushbone to Dervs to Crocs to make a new alt. I actually don't remember what I would always do after Crocs, but like it was always like mess around in Kanos, get a port, level up in Crushbone, then do Dervs, Cayman. I don't think I did a lot of Guck back then, so it wasn't Guck. A Crypt... Oh man, I didn't put any points in Evocation. This is going to be gnarly. Messed up. Orc Highway? Yeah, I used to do Orc Highway. Yep. What are the Dervs calling? Crypt Mummy, Crypt Mummy, Crypt Mummy. Oh, there's my guy right there, dude. Yellow Con. I don't know. I think maybe we go for it. What is this? Alteration? I should be able to resolve the fear spell pretty reliably. If I have lay on hands up and 2 clickies, I think maybe we go for the yellow Rahotep kill here. Is this shit social? I've never really camped Rahotep before. Does anyone in chat know offhand if these guys are social? They are. Okay, I'll have to clean this up a little bit first then. Can't wait to go completely trying to cast my 12 damage nuke. It feels so good. When you hit for 10 damage, 12 damage is pretty big. That was painful. Oh, the spawn rate's real high. Sweet. Makes sense why it's like a leveling hotspot then. Can he spawn from any of these, or is this always his spawn point? Spooky time. Listen, Crypt Money, I'm gonna need you to specifically run away from all your friends when you're scared, okay? Wow. Glad I got that cure disease. Any of those? Oh, that's amazing. He stunned me. I was going to resolve that one too. Did you see it? Eat that 12 damage. Feels so bad. Ward Undead is 12 damage. It's like worthless. Based on how this fight has gone, I do not know that I am ready to take on Rahotep. This guy is like, what level is he? He's level 14. Yeah, so he's a level below me and he's giving me some trouble. Jesus. What was what pre-nerf? Oh, it was like, I want to say 50 damage. Maybe 54 damage is what it was. It changed based on your level, you know what I mean? It went up a little bit, but 54 I think is where it kind of landed. And the whole problem with it is that when they revamped the spell levels, you started getting oh, parrying dagger. You started getting Ward Undead as a level 1 cleric, so it has to be weak. It's literally balanced around level 1 clerics having the spell. And never mind the level 15 Paladin, who doesn't get another Undead nuke until level 30. I'm gonna cure my disease. Heals. Minor. Wait. I know I bought it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, this spawn point is like already respawned from where I killed that mummy. Dirty old socks. What's going on, dude? Good to see you. Are you not on tonight? Hey, bud. Thanks for the sub, dude. Monday is a no stream day? Oh, man. I took Tuesday off my list and went to Wednesday. So now the only time that you and I stream on the same day is Saturday. Which is sad, but it's also, I think, good for both of us. Rip, dirty. Alright. It looks like this Fear Undead spell is pretty mana efficient, yes. So as long as it consistently lands on Rahotep, I should be able to just keep him stuck in a fear loop as long as I want. Provided we don't get a bunch of ads. Young and the Restless. How much mana do I have? Alright, I could cast it like 30 times during the fight. Gotta get all my mana back though, so I can prepare for the 15 plus fizzles of Ward Undead, the level 1 spell. Miko, I am 30% away from leveling. Well, 29, I guess. 29%. Socks, you gotta be getting close to your first partner application, right? Or have you already applied? I see your numbers are pretty consistently over that 75 when I look in the evenings. All right. Let's go. Okay, cool. Yeah, just dive through the side of the rocks there. That's dope. Come way out here. He resisted it? Dude. Resist that, bitch. Can you stop pivoting? Look at this guy. Watch him fear himself into the guards over there, or into like this desert madman. That'd be dope. He's piercing me. What is that guy? Oh, he's the wrong window here. Oh, he's gray. Cool. And indifferent. Go toe to toe for a little bit, and then we'll fear him again. Wow. Pierced me for 32 damage. Let's not do that again. Rahotep. Look at all these 18 damage hits I'm getting on him. 4 18 hitters in a row. That's nice. 5. Hey. Too easy. Is this gonna kill me? Is this gonna do anything dumb? What about you? You jackals, are you guys gonna do anything dumb? Everyone's good. Alright, we're gonna fear them. Then we're gonna take a second here and just cast a heal on ourselves. Get a little icing on there. Boom. Wow, Ward Undead. It'd be real cool if you didn't do this. Alright. We just gotta keep this guy feared the whole time. Like, he does a lot more damage than I do. Was that a resist? Oh, don't do that, dude. Be a hell of a time to realize we just had like a ton of luck with the first few casts of it, and he's actually like really resistant to my shit. Crushneck? Not my buddy. I think Crushneck is an applicant in our guild. Oh, this is not good. Why were you guys right here, dude? Yeah, I think Crushneck is an applicant to our guild. He had to redo his application for some reason. How's it going, Killis? Yeah, it's not cool, dude. I want to get this Rahotep kill, but I don't want to deal with these ads. 3, 2, 1, and stop. Spook. Get out of here. Boom. Okay, we're back on Rahotep. We're gonna fear Rahotep. What's the time remaining on this fear? 3 seconds. Recast fear. Feared again. Oh no, didn't work. All right, I think we just go for the kill here. All right, Crypt Mummy. Go away. Zombie. Easy. What do we get? Scarab Ring. Pretty cool. I'll take that. And a Pugius. Vendor Trash. Just go take this zombie to the guards. Ooh. I figured that zombie was like no big deal, right? Because he's probably going to be gray. I'm running the wrong way, right? Whoops. Killis, are you ready for SOD launch? I think I saw you on test the other night. I have to click every armadillo I see just in case, right? Just in case it's a Dune Digger. Oh no, I was going the correct way. Jeez, I'm dumb. Were you just bored of Secrets of Fadeware? There should be a hut with guards, right? It's gotta be right here. Yeah, this is it. When are you gonna find a new guild, Killis? I know you have some bad feels about like Plane of Storms 2 years ago or whatever, but you know, we grow, we change. These guys are just gonna let me get attacked by a zombie. Good guards over here in Freeport. So if Sixa quits, you'll quit? I'll make that trade. Let's tell Sixa to buy a name change potion for a week. Oh, when he quits, he'll join? Aren't you guys boys? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happened with our pop launch. Pop launch was like the worst launch rush we ever did, I think. Because we wanted to bring the whole guild pretty much through the flagging process. And it was such a pain to do that. I heard that there might have been someone whose box was getting random pieces in the early tiers before a main or two. I don't really remember it or know anything about it, but it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, like that was happening in the chaos. All I remember is like 4 straight days of no sleep, so I could level in lead splits through everything, including some of the Plane of Time. You were originally in that guild with the guild leader who went crazy and had like a huge meltdown, right? Suvis. Later main. Yeah. Well, that Rahotep kill was exciting. 2 AC, 2 to the resist, whatever. Isn't that like one of his normal drops? Or am I crazy? He drops that in the rod. The Quest Aug Mask. Are you talking about the DODH one? Is this part of your like twink thing, MJJ? Oh, yeah. Model XL. I'm pretty happy with how that Rahotep fight went. Alright, be Rahotep. Yeah, it can be hard to keep up with that kind of thing, Miko. You have to like have a plan and work on it every single day, just a little bit, you know what I mean? Unless you have a ton of playtime, it can grind through it. Wouldn't surprise me if it did. How much EXP did I get for killing that Rahotep? 18. Yeah. Gotta do what you can. Oh, I need to cure myself. I'm not getting any OOC regen. I can definitely feel the benefit when I was fighting him of this undead Bane. All those 18 damage hits were wrecking. Nice. There we go. He's gonna warp out of there and be like directly on top of me. Come on. Alright. We'll take the Crypt Mummy to the guards. Fear Rahotep right before him. Maybe a little ways before them so Rahotep doesn't like run to the guards himself. There we go. Bye, Rahotep. Fear has worn off. Alright, Fintran. Take care of this Crypt Mummy for me, dude. Please and thank you. Alright. Now to find Rahotep. I lost him. I wonder if he just warps home or if he's like out here in the dunes. I can't target him, he's out of my target range. There he is. Hey. Yeah, there we go. Come all the way back here. Resolve one ward. Nope. Without that Pugius, he seems like he's doing a lot less DPS. Don't go to the Sand Giants, dude. He's going right over to the Sand Giants. Don't be that guy, Rahatep. Straight back this way. And we should be good here. He's coming back. Good, good, good. I don't want to let him drift too far that way while we do this. Pop a heal on myself. Hit a yelp. Melee round, and then fear. Can't see him because of the dune. He cannot drop the skew shield, DM. He's one level too high. Ward. Nice. Oh, it fizzled after like the halfway point. Rip. He came in hard. 24 damage swing. Should be easy with him walking now. Mischief has a tendency to make rare items like even rarer somehow. I don't know how the formula really works, but if you notice, like if you're looking for something that is normally a really rare drop, it's like ultra hard to get it on Mischief, even though you have many times more loot. So Skeet Shield probably is pretty rare. There we go, and I leveled Barnacle Covered Pauldrons, 6 AC. Better than my thick black cape. Is that a labyrinth talisman? Etched Ivory Charm, 5222. I'll take that. That was a pretty good upgrade. Let's do our Cure Disease. Yeah, it was good. He's back up. Well, maybe not him, but that PH has spawned. Shriveled Mummy. Okay, that's good. Yeah, Mischief SSF seems like it's going to be a blast. I should have done it much sooner. All right. Hey, thanks for the follow. Let's do that Kanos map paint. Add this to OBS. Window capture, paint. Boom. All right, you guys can see it, right? We're gonna do our drawing of Kanos. That's my brush size. That's fine. All right, so you have your gate. This is our fake wall right here. Then your gate comes around, pops up, comes in, little thing here, the gate, little thing there, and cool. POK book's over here somewhere. This is already so much worse than if I was using my hand. Just inside the gate here, this is like a wall. This is a wall. Then you have our vendor. You have a door here, an alleyway here, an alleyway here. These are both dead ends though. These doors go upstairs into the gate. No, this one goes upstairs into the gate. This is just where Cane Bale hangs out. Then this all consolidates into this little tunnel right here. Goes like this, which takes you out. And then you have this wall. And then right here is Sneed Galloway's trading post. This comes out like this. There's a little grassy area with the Priest of Discord right here. It continues around. You have Jalia the Faithful right here, and then a zone line to South Kanos. So we had Sneed's here, which means Crow's Tavern is right here. Underneath Crow's is the Circle of Unseen Hands. Here is a pond with Motoro Finharn. And this is the Silent Fist Guild right here. Up some stairs. Remember, all this shit is outside the wall out here anyway. And right here is Lieutenant Daggerrock. Now here, you go through another like brief tunnel. You come out, there's like a little path here that goes behind the smithy and jewel crafting station, which is 2 stories. JC. Along this wall, it widens out here, you have the tailors. You turn here and go up. We're going to continue this down here, okay? Because we're reaching the end here. But this goes all the way up here for a while, breaks in the middle. In the middle it comes over here. We've got this little star dais thing for the Paladin Guild. There is a merchant building that is shaped kind of like this. For cleric shit, you have our big pond and our our sort of spiraling ramp that leads up to the clicky thing to go into our spaceship, which the spaceship is actually like off the map to the left somewhere. So this is Rodsat Knife's area, pond underneath them. And further up here, the buildings continue and curve to an L, then come back down, and we go into South Kanos in this little place here. There's one guard that stands right here. On this side, we have our guy who sells shoes. I'll put an F there for foot. This whole thing is just a series of mostly empty buildings. Am I doing okay so far? Perfectly to scale. Mischief's population is pretty good. A couple thousand people, like 15, 20 guilds. Yeah, well, I mean, they're not playing in Crushbone, bro. The server cap is level 85. Almost everyone is at cap. Okay, so this is North Kanos. I didn't draw all the shit outside the wall because, like, who cares? Now we will do new. Don't save. I think that was everything North Kanos. Now we go to South Kanos. I'll try to start down here so we have more room. You come out of your little tunnel, and you have your little clock from the gnomes. C for clock. Your little water thing right here in front of it. There's a guard right here. There's a fletching vendor right here. There is a dude who stands right here and a chick who stands right here. There's a forge right here. This goes over here. They have the tax building right here. So this. Then they have a building with nothing in it right here. This closes off kind of like that. So back here. And there's like a little barrel and a gutter right here. Comes out. And then you are in another big open area that starts out with the Lion's Mane Inn and Tavern. It's pretty big, but we'll make it small for this. L for lion. The wall kind of ends over here. You go up here. Then you have all these vendors in the courtyard of the Lion's Mane Inn. You can go left here towards the bank. I'll draw that. There's a little tent. This guy sells large armor. This goes to the docks right here. And then this, you have the investigator and the loom. You can go down here, and there's a building right here with the tailor who sells leather armor. It's actually like, the building's probably like right here. I'm doing a poor job of scale. You go past her, and there's like a little walkway. And then you are at the Wind Spirit Song, which is right here. Bam. And the Tin Soldier right here. This also connects out to the other South Kanos, or North Kanos entrance here. This was the one by the Monk Guild. I think the wall here actually like touches the back of the Tin Soldier. 10, B for Bard. This was tax. There's a building right here, not to be forgotten, and a building right here. This one is like bags, and this is like weapons, but mostly like bows and shit. Now over here we open up to the docks. There's a big there's a big building right here. You come out, you have your dock. Ba-ba-boom. You have Raz the Rat Misk on the beach underneath the dock. Water, 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 water. And then there's another tunnel here that leads to dock number 2. Madame Serena's right here telling fortunes or whatever the fuck she does. This closes off here, and we've reached the top of the map again. I wonder if I can expand that up. Anyway, we come this way, and we're gonna run into some space issues over here. We're gonna make this unnaturally long. Boom. Okay. This way, we have a big kind of courtyard thing where all the gypsies hang out and they sell random shit. Then we have the Warrior Guild. It goes into an arena here. There's a little side part of the arena. Here's a balcony where you turn in Null Fangs on the top floor. This is the prison area that goes downstairs to the Blood Sabers. It's not really like that right there. We need to open this up. This thoroughfare is pretty much open. The scale's just a little bit off. We have a smith here. He's an evil aligned smith. And then right here we have our sewer cleaner. This goes all the way around this path here. But first we have a bridge that leads to the bank in the Mages Guild. There's a spot here. We'll mark it with an X because we're going to have to do it off the map. That leads to like this part of the docks. I wonder if I could just expand it. I can't. Wait, I can select it and crop it and move it. Cool, there we go. Cool. So this goes over here to a little courtyard with one building that doesn't open. This has a door that doesn't open. There's a path that goes here and a path that goes here. This path takes you to the bandit sash dude and a vendor. And over here is a big church kind of building that you can walk through in a courtyard with a little gazebo here and a building here. This is all Paladin town, so we'll put P. And this is all connected. This takes you to behind the docks. There's a path here that is just an alleyway where that dude who makes rat necklaces hangs out. And there's another building here. So this building here is the bakery. You get muffins there, so put another B. This is the bar where Trumpy hangs out. Put a T for him. And it also connects right here-ish. I drew the line exactly where the opening is supposed to be. There we go. So it comes out like this. This wall comes like this. And this lets you out to the docks. Over here, there's like a little open air market. This guy sells compasses. Here we have the dock with another long thing. This has a wall here. And then there's a building right here with a lighthouse in it. So we'll put L. And that is Kano, so I didn't do the bank. So you come in here, parcel vendor or whatever now. Bank. B. You walk past it, there's this building right here. Then there's behind the bank, another building right here where you turn in like null scrolls. And it goes back in here and you have the Mage Guild. And there's an alchemy building in the middle of them all. Got a little cramped. Anyway, look, that's Kano's map drawn from memory. Don't save. It's gone. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope I didn't annihilate my viewership too much while I took literally 10 minutes to draw a stupid map. Ah, we got another Rahotep. Let's go. My map was limited only by my artistic ability. What? Dude, where? Where did you come from? You get out of here. Just go away and get totally out of our range, okay? Of course, he's like fearing in our direction. Thank you, Locket. I appreciate that. Oh, hey, Rahotep. I did not expect to see you like that. Hopefully I just lost that other mummy. I see that I did not. He's trying to get down here. Oh, he's hitting for 34. Crunchy. I think that mummy's out there trying to get to us, and when I fear Rahotep, I'm going to have to deal with that other mummy ad again. It's going to be a pain in my balls. And Rahotep warped through the tunnel. Cool. I think I probably should have foreseen that. Alright, what about you, Shriveled Mummy? Can you, like, fuck off? Yeah, that Uber 12 damage. Might be better to just keep fearing Rahotep while I kill this dude really quick. I might have like lost Rahotep off my hate list. Yeah, level 20. For extended target. There's Rahotep walking back to his spawn point right there. Asshole. Fully regenerated, no doubt. Come on. This is not great. About to just train the whole thing to the guards. Kill them all except for Rahotep. Yep, that's quite a pile of them. Rahotep, can you fucking get in my view here? Dude. It's so dumb the hill blocks line of sight in an outdoor zone. Of course. Okay. We're gonna resolve. Yes. Whoa, 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 get off me. Perfect. Hey, Rahotep, thanks for coming back. Back to our normally scheduled episode here. It's kind of late, so I don't have to worry about burning lay on hands on this, so it makes it a little bit easier. That's a good question. Something holy? Maybe they see the god they worshipped in life. Maybe, yeah, penance stare. They see a female dwarf with a beard. How dare you? He's really running in this direction hard. Just gonna blow this right now to save myself any risk. Boop, boop. He interrupted my Spook the Dead spell. You jerk. What happens when you fear a rooted mob? Does it break root? I feel like I should know this. Ooh, resist. Man, look at all the skill ups. Oh yeah, I just leveled up, so makes sense. What are the odds of getting the same shoulders again? Black and Sapphire, this is Najana shit. Ooh. I think our ideal drop here is the Polished Granite Tomahawk. I could easily go get that club from Kearns around now, but I said no POK, so getting to Kearns would be a real big chore. All right, folks, we're gonna do our raid here and then roll out. Let's raid El Jefe. Let's go, folks. Drop a big bomb of viewers on El Jefe, please. Looking good. Love to support El Jefe, one of my favorite streamers. Let's do it.